Okay, now we're going to use reference angle and our table of values to help us find our angle instead of using the calculator. The first one, we have sine theta is equal to -1/2, and we know that theta is in the fourth quadrant. Okay, your reference angle, you're going to be able to figure this one out based on your table of values. Now, the fact that this is negative is not something for you to even consider to be able to answer this. This is just simply negative because sine has to be negative in the fourth quadrant. So if you recall from your table of values, it is sine 30 degrees that's equal to 1/2. So 30 degrees is going to be your reference angle. Then to find the actual angle that we're looking for here, going back and using the rules that I did just a few minutes ago with the calculator problems, this is the fourth quadrant. So for fourth quadrant, you're always going to do 360 degrees minus the reference angle. So for this particular problem, your answer then would be 330 degrees. Okay, the second one that we're going to look at, again, first of all, we need to determine our reference angle. So from your table of values, if you'll recall that it's cosine 30 degrees, that's equal to square root 3/2. Again, the fact that this is negative is not something for us to even consider with this type of problem. It's just negative because cosine is negative in the second quadrant. But again, cosine 30 degrees has a value of square root 3/2. So 30 degrees is going to be our reference angle. Then to find our angle that we're looking for, since we're in the second quadrant, the rule that I gave you was to do 180 degrees minus the reference angle. So our answer for this problem would be 150 degrees. Okay, next one is going to be tangent theta is equal to 1, and theta is going to be in the third quadrant. Okay, from our table of values, we know that tangent has a value of 1 at 45 degrees. So that's going to be our reference angle. Of course, this time our value is positive, but that's because tangent has to be positive in the third quadrant. To find our angle, the rule that I gave you for third quadrant is 180 degrees plus the reference angle. So 180 degrees plus the 45 degrees gives us 225 degrees. So that would be your answer. Okay, so those three, were either sine, cosine, or tangent. So let's take a look at some of them, that are cosecant, secant, or cotangent. So let's see, this would actually be number 4 here. I ended up changing these. So this would be 4 and this would be 5. Okay, so number 4, let's look at this one first. No, I'm sorry, this is the ones I was going to do anyway. No, here we go. I had it right the first time, sorry. Okay. Now, in your table, you only know sine, cosine, and tangent. So in parentheses, I want to write down what you need to recall. The reciprocal of secant is cosine. So you're going to recall cosine theta equal to 1/2. Now again, the fact that this is negative is not going to affect what I'm doing. But I took the 2, did the reciprocal, and got 1/2. So it's from this that we can figure out our reference angle. So from your table, it would be cosine 60 degrees that would have a value of 1/2. So that's going to be our reference angle. Okay, so since we're in the second quadrant, the rule for second quadrant is 180 degrees minus the reference angle. So for this particular problem, our answer will be 120 degrees. Okay, one more. Okay, so here, since this is cotangent, I'm going to use tangent. And I need the reciprocal, so that would just be square root 3. Okay, so I'll use that to determine my reference angle. So from your table, you would know that it's tangent 60 degrees that has a value of square root 3. Okay, we're in the third quadrant. So to find our angle for third quadrant, that would be 180 degrees plus the reference angle. So our answer here would be 240 degrees.